Unless...
Don't be ashamed to be who you are.
I know. It's fine to be heterosexual. It's natural. Some of us were born gay. We're born not gay. Probably not gay. We're here for you. Not gay people. But are you here for us? I don't know. You are. The straight people here are, but not all straight people are. I'll be there for you. I'm fine. I recently read a statistic that there is roughly about 5 million lesbians in America. A lot of the census data is wrong. So a lot of people don't report their actual status, which is cool, no problem. But it freaked me out because I was like, if there's only 5 million lesbians in America, and like 3/4 of them are young or old, and then like something like over half of them.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see what she's going to say.
Excuse me. So if 3/4 of the lesbians are just rolled out, and then like some crazy statistic, like over 50% are in a relationship and raising children, I was like, there's like 9 lesbians who are eligible. And I called my girlfriend and I was like, I love you so much. I only want to be with you forever because you're literally one of like 12 lesbians in America. Straight people have it easier. Sucks for you too, I get it. Love sucks. People are psychotic. Wait till you hear it. Gets worse. Anyways, this song is kind of about straight people. It's about straight people who are not good to gay people. And there's an election coming up in this country. And if you hear about anybody, whether it's gay folks or just really anybody who isn't Donald Trump, freaking sane, loving, kind, sensible person, please vote for not Trump. And also, no, I have to step in here. Just vote. Just vote. Just vote and get involved in what's going on in your communities because, man, here you go. Why are you running away? She's got to go back. It's fine. I just want you to vote. And this is going to be the last talking part of our set, but I just want to leave this one thing with you. One of the things that has allowed Tegan and I to be so proud and so comfortable with who we are is people like you, gay or straight. People like you are supportive. And you never underestimate how you caring about somebody that is different than you. Gay or straight doesn't matter. I'm not even just talking about that. Caring about somebody who's different than you is so profound and it can change people's lives forever. And it can cause entire communities to change. Tegan and I, when we came out in the 1990s, shit was not cool. And things have gotten a lot better because of people like you. And so, I'm just going to leave you with that. Please vote. Please care about other people. We care about you. This song is for straight people.
So cool. Yeah, Shawn Mendes is like.
Sarah's like obsessed with Shawn
I
Mendes.
also,
It's kind
my
of
big
weird.
thing lately is because we're 35. I'm like, I literally don't say that. Had Shawn Mendes. Like, Shawn Mendes could be my son, and they could now be having a career. That's how young he is. Like, I could have had him in 1998, and then my career is just taking off. You know, and then I have Shawn, and then it's like so hard for me with Shawn, and then now he's having a big career.
I hope you tell him that.
I'm gonna say that to her. I'm sure he'll
I
love
hope
that
she does.
story.
Shawn, I'm basically your mother.
Shawn, I'm basically old enough to be your mom.
So my mom's like, I'm confused. Why are you at Glastonbury? And I was like, we're not. We're in London. It's like hours away. And she was like, well, you're talking about the rain and you're like, whatever. I'm like, we're not at Glastonbury, we're in London, we're playing shows. And she's like, oh, okay, is it raining there? I'm like, what's happening? Why are you so confused? Anyway, it looks really muddy and shitty there. I don't know how you people do it. Obviously, English people are the strongest fucking people in the world. All those videos of people and they're like pushing wheelbarrows full of their shit like they're moving there. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why?
I did see someone with one of those like moving dollies and they had like flaques of beer.
I saw a video of someone with like some sort of cart. It's like a 3-group person and something falls off and it's in the mud and they look at it and they're just like, they leave it. Like they're already leaving things behind. Like you don't want to go to the end of the earth with those people because you trip and they'd be like, you're done. We're done with you. I was like, holy fuck. It looks so hard. But then I saw those like expensive like glamping yurt things or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? You guys are like, yes, we're English. Stop talking about Glastonbury. They look really nice, but I saw that aerial shot of like all the fancy, expensive stuff next to End of Times, like the free camping area or whatever, where it's just fucked up. It's like tents on top of tents. And
I just want to say one thing. I want to just two things actually.
oh, are you sure it's not 3?
No, it's 2. One. I do think the English are very strong, but I just want to say I lived in Montreal for about 13 years, and they have a festival in the dead of winter, and it's like you go to a rave and it's outside and it's -30. Like it's the most insane thing. Everyone is so drunk and high that they don't even feel the cold, so people's limbs just fall off while they're dancing. It's crazy.
All right, what's the second thing?
Okay, the second thing is that I sort of have like a general rule for myself. Like if the environment of something looks worse than that TV show Walking Dead, it's not for me. Like Walking Dead, with the first couple seasons, I was like, I don't know, it doesn't seem that bad. Like, you hole up in like a prison and you just wait it out, you know? Like, it's not like, when I see people walking around in those wellies or whatever you call them in the mud, I'm like, it's not for me. Like, it's not for me to stand over one of those like ground toilets and like squat and like have to wait in line for a drink for like 63 hours and then like it's not for me. I'm weak. And there's a reason why I was born only in a 5'2" body with asthma, and it's because 30 years ago I probably wouldn't have.
Very hot, very, very, very hot picture.
I'm just giving you my stats. I'm 5'2", I have asthma, and I wasn't meant to go to Glastonbury. I just wasn't.
Was there a third thing or just 2?
What's that?
Was there a third thing or just 2?
I said 2. It was 2
Okay,
things.
all right. Well, I want to dedicate this to all the people who are just covered in mud, pushing their belongings.
And to the person who always, like, there's always someone who has an unfortunate passing while at Glastonbury.
What the
and that, this song is,
Why?
This song.
No, this next one's for Adele. I love you so much. I would do anything to meet you.
And for the person
if you want to
who
send a
dies.
helicopter to pick me up after the Coco gig, I'll be on the roof waiting for your ride. Do you guys have Uber copter here? Maybe we could pass the hat and I could fly over to the pyramid stage or whatever it's called. I swear this is the longest bit we'll do because... Okay, I don't know. I don't know you yet, so I can't tell. But are you enjoying the talking? It's okay. I was going to say that we played Glastonbury once. Did anyone, like it was years ago, but was anyone there? A few people. We played at like a very reasonable time of day, like mid-afternoon. I remember our set being quite pleasant. I think we played in between like Mike Snow and Kelly, which was awesome because we loved both very much. And afterwards, a friend who travels with us and my girlfriend, we were like, let's walk around. It's fucking Glastonbury, right? Like we can't just leave. Our bus call was like 4 p.m. or something, and I was like, we've got an hour. Let's go and see Glastonbury. The path by this point to walk anywhere was like we had to walk like this. We were walking between tents. Like this was like everyone had encroached on the path, and we ended up getting a margarita and then just turning back. Like I was just like, it's too scary. And our manager, who's worked with us for 13 years, he came on the bus, and out of nowhere, he's just like grinning, like shit-eating grin. He's like, I got a tent. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna experience Glastonbury. And I was like, and the bus just drove away. Like I was just like, good luck. I hope you make it.
He did.
He did make it. And Anyway, apparently our year was like one of the only dry years or whatever. Like there wasn't rain; it was dust everywhere. I had to, yeah, it was crazy. Anyway,
make it dry.
What? Okay, great. Well, that's a good. I think that's a high note to end on that story. Yeah.
You want the mullets back? It felt like it was coming back because Robin was doing it, and I was like, fuck yeah, the mullet's coming back. Instead, people asking us for our mullets back is like when you tell your friend, like, it's so funny when you drink a whole keg. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves your mullets. I like it or not. Everyone loves it. Mine in particular, you're like, I mean, just no bangs. Remember, it was just like these little mini bangs. The most minuscule bangs you've ever seen, and then really long hair and then short hair. Sarah and Emmy made me get the haircut. I got to Montreal, we were just starting to work on So Jealous, and they were like, you need a haircut. And I was like, do I? And they're like, don't worry, we have a hairdresser for you. I went and I had fucking normal hair, and I came out, and I was just like, I'll never forget, we rode bikes home from the hair salon. I was like, riding, no wind blowing in my face, and I just was riding on the bike, and fuck, I felt so cool. I was in Montreal with an asymmetrical mullet with no bangs. It was like, so and everyone I saw was just like, your eyes are so big. Because I was just like, no eyebrows. How was I no eyebrows? Because it was like carried over from the 90s. Thanks, Drew Barrymore. And so we, every last, it was just like one hair across. Anyway.
Strange. I feel weird when people bring up, like we have been talking about it a lot, but people bring it up in the sense like, wow, you've been around for so long. Are you guys so tired? Do you have so many records? Do you guys feel like so over it? Like those kinds of comments. And no, we don't. Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
My favorite lately is when for the last few years, one of the big things that we struggled with was people would always go like, so this is your second or third record, and we would be like, no, fuck that, we've got so many records. And now people will be like, so you've got your 13th record coming out. I'll be like, slow down. Slow down. We are not that old, but we are 35-year-old women. We're very mature. I thought Tegan went down, and I'm like, she's old, she just has to lay down for a minute. It's fine. Anyways, yeah.
Wait, no, what I was going to say, sorry, that's something on my
Well,
hand.
I don't know, you went down and changed the oil or something.
We have this wonderful tech who just started working for us, and in the time he's worked for us every night, he's like, I'm going to put a towel and water, and do you want anything else on stage? And I'm like, I've never drank water or touched the towel, not once. Not just in the time he's worked for us, like literally have never touched a towel on stage, and tonight I have all this goop on my hand, so I just washed my hands with the towel and the water, but right before I came on stage, I said to Hugo, I'm like, one day I'll need the towel. So oh my God. Better put it there.
Thank God for Hugo.
Yeah. Anyway, the point that I was going to say is that people keep bringing up how long we've been doing this and how many records. And one of the cool things about having so many records and been around for so long is we've seen everything change. We've seen people stop buying CDs and start buying it on iTunes, and then just forego that, and then go back to vinyl, and then want CDs again. And then, like, my cousin has a band and they make cassette tapes. And now apparently nobody gives a shit about any of that, and they just stream it. So I had to learn how to use Spotify, which was cool. And then people started talking to us about how you need to Shazam things, because literally our career is just, if you Shazam a whole bunch, then apparently that's going to help us. So and we keep learning all of these things, and it's fascinating. I feel like it's the first day of school every time we put a record out. It's so invigorating and terrifying. But the one thing that has remained the same is, what's up, Hugo? One thing that's remained exactly the same is that I feel there's a point during every single show that we play. Maybe there's been a couple really shitty ones where I haven't felt this way, but certainly for the last 10 years it's been consistent. At least once a night I have a moment in the show where I just, whether I hear you singing or something happens where I become very aware of you. Sometimes I have to, like, you know, just be inside myself, but I become aware of you. And one thing that has not changed in all these years is that in that moment I am so
grateful that this is the career and the life that I got to have. And I feel... I don't really understand what's happening. I already said all the nice things, and now I feel like you're trying to say nicer things to them in a more... Like in a more emotional way, and I don't understand, like, do I have to like shed tears for these people? Like, I don't understand, like...
Do it!
Is this like a thing between you and Hugo?
Yeah,
like, oh, Tegan,
Hugo and I are taking
like,
a show on the road where I tell really sad things while Hugo fixes things for me. No, the point that I was going to try to make was just that, like, that in that moment where I feel so excited, I realize that we have a lot of ambition and a lot of goals, and we strive to do many, many big, good things, but the one thing that I never wanting to move away from is having this connection. And Sarah and I are so grateful. We really thought long and hard before this record came out about what our number one goal was for this record. And our number one goal, we were calling, it's very cheesy, but I'll admit to it, is that we wanted to create a bridge directly to our audience. We didn't want to go out and support other bands. We didn't want to go out and do things that didn't feel good. We just wanted to do intimate shows and small shows and then bigger shows, but all headline and just connect to our audience. And if you want to buy the fucking record, you should. If you want to stream it or Shazam it, you should. But honestly, as long as you just come back at some point, even if it's 10 years from now, we really appreciate you guys listening to us and coming out and hanging out. My number one goal for this record is my ovaries are on their last leg, so if anyone wants to just, I'm willing to use my ovary to make your dream come true. My second goal with this record is to convince Sarah to stop bringing her fucking ovaries up on stage. My third goal for this record was just that Tegan would just let me be myself and talk about my ovaries or just myself however I wanted to. My ovaries won't be around that long. It's not going to be like we're going to be doing our heritage tour when we're in our 50s. I'm going to be like, so anyways, my left ovary. That's all you're going to talk about when you're 50. That's all you're going to talk about. So wait, don't bring it up now. I'm watching Downton Abbey right now, and when I have to talk about women things, has everyone here seen it? Like the doctor talks to the dude, I'm really bad with names, the guy who owns the castle or whatever, and but he's like, the lady gets pregnant, the wife gets pregnant. I'm bad with names. I can barely remember your name most of the time. And great story. The guy who owns a castle. No, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The Duke or... Thank you, ma'am. I can't remember. It's like the Duke guy, he gets his older wife. She must be, I guess, she's like hella old, so she's probably like 40 or something. And she gets pregnant late in life or whatever, and the doctor is like, well, he's like, how did this happen, doctor? He's like, oi, how did this happen? Or whatever. And then the doctor's like, no, Darren is from the UK. Would a duke who owned a castle ever say oi before? No, Darren says no. Okay, so the doctor's like, do you want me to explain it to you? And then he's like, heavens no. And then he's like, if you take a shot of whiskey, we can talk about women parts or whatever. And I'm like, that's you on stage. I turn into the Duke, where I'm like, no, don't talk about your ovaries.
Really, what I was getting around to is that I don't even, sometimes wanting to talk about anything is no goal. Sometimes I'm literally like, I just want to tell everybody about how I've decided I'm not going to drink Red Bull anymore. I'll have the strongest urge in the hot, like in the heat of the moment up there. Sarah's like, cry. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to tell them I stopped drinking Red Bull. But sometimes I literally just want to look you guys in the eye and be like, I don't know, whatever. Okay, I'll just say one. You say one, yeah, you say one. We're just trying to lighten you up because things are so dark and sad. But, okay, so pretend something like okay, no, it was when you were like, mine was when you were like, this love is made for, and I was like, I might get my period today. Right here. There you go. Right there. Don't shame me for what happens naturally to everyone. Trust me, you want to first start talking about how ovaries are in their final march. You don't want to know. Don't shame my fertility issues either, okay?
This is a safe space. You can say anything you want. But only if it's what we want to hear, because that's what's great about not being politicians. You can talk about anything you want unless you don't agree. Okay, so.
I was like trying to dance but not like hit my down here, like against the keyboard thing, like, and then I had to like kind of straddle that, like I was like this, and then I just was like didn't play. And then I sat in there, and then I know you all noticed. That was me, and sorry that whole section. It's hard. Like we've always played instruments in every single song, and so my brain has just been racked with anxiety about like parts and then all of a sudden this new world where sometimes all I have to worry about is not hitting against or stepping off the edge. Oh my god, it's my worst nightmare. I almost want to just accidentally fall off the stage just to get it out of the way, you know? Like I see Justin Bieber just did it. I don't remember who else, but like tons of people do it. It happens all the time. I've been an asshole and sat around watching YouTube videos of stars falling off the stage before I'll hit it. My turn is coming and I know it and I'm embracing it, but like just now I was all like, yeah, okay, keep the mic here, keep it here, yeah. Don't look down, because that's cool, make eye contact with the audience, but nope, white line's right there, watch it, watch it. I'm sure the security man right here would catch me if I fell. And at least he'd get me back up on the stage, but he would never take his eyes off you while he did it. It would not be an opportunity. He would just pick me up probably with one fucking hand, flip me back up on the stage, and he had his eyes on me the whole time.
The only thing anyone can see is our heads on our shoulders.
Not true.
It's funny, you know, you can see my awesome shoes, thank you. That means a lot to me, more than it should, actually. When I was growing up, I mean, everyone is self-conscious, especially, well, everybody except for like 4% of the population who are like astonishing, even as teenagers, like they just bypass that disgusting stage that most normal people go through. Like the only person, like I say this and then my mom is like, that's not true, you're being so, you're exaggerating, but like I'm speaking for myself, that's from 13 years of therapy. It's just about me. Not necessarily, I'm not saying that Tegan was different, but she can say what she was. I was utterly disgusting. I mean, no, but I know, it's like, oh no, but I like you so much. But I mean, I was still likable. I didn't say I didn't have a good personality. I just said that I was shockingly awkward. I did all the wrong things. Our mom is and was a fox, and she would try to help us. She would say things like, let me take you shopping and buy you brands and clothes that are relevant to the year that you're going to 7th grade. And we'd be like, nah. We'd be like, oh no, I'm cool with my Epcot Disney t-shirt that I bought for Christmas, or for summer vacation. And these super cool velour shirts that we wore to our piano recital last year will do just fine, no problem. I don't want your Doc Martens or your overalls or your nose piercing, Mom, just fuck off. And it was a mistake, it was. It was also a mistake not to get a designated hairstyle. It was a mistake to continue playing a game called Raft with our best friend all through most of middle school, which was, it sounds fun? Do you want to know what it was about? It wasn't like a weird sex game, like, you know, in middle school kids start to like, be adventurous and challenge their boundaries with drugs and sex. We were playing basically it was charades, but on a blow-up raft in Heather's living room. We would come up with little scenarios that each one of us would act out on the raft. Just in case you don't know what that is, because you're city people, that's a flotation device that one uses on summer vacation in a river. But it was in Heather's... Or in a lake, but it was in Heather's living room, and we would play all sorts of weird role-play games in it. So, needless to say, we were super pops, and no, we weren't popular, but we were really lucky because we weren't super unpopular, and I'm grateful for that, because sometimes I look back at pictures and I'm like, I feel like if the fashion police existed for certain teenagers, we would have got a life sentence.
No, I wish I had a mullet. That would have meant I'd had at least half as much hair, which I had so much hair that I have chronic.
I think Sarah,
scar
I just
tissue.
want to say one thing to you.
I have scar tissue on my shoulders from holding up my hair in high school.
I think that unfortunately this is such a good bit, but I think for whatever reason,
It's not landing.
not here, but it's hysterical. Like the whole thing, like she yells, "I loved your mullet." You're like, "I wish I had a mullet." That would mean half the hair. That's hysterical. That's on point. That's seriously comedic genius. I don't know why it's not flying here, but I think it could be because everyone's just smiling because I see a lot of teeth. But that laugh is quiet, but it was a good bit. Does it somehow tie into this next song? So funny.
Guys, I guess the point of the bit, I didn't say this, I'm gonna look towards the bar, who's the noisiest part of this room. When I tell it. I guess the point of my bit is that it's really awkward sometimes when I'm up here and I'm trying to be cool. Like in that last song, I really have to talk to myself like one would if they were doing like a sex scene in a movie or something. Like I have to be like, this is walking with a ghost. Like you don't do anything anymore. Just look cool. Maybe turn your face a bit. Yeah, just look over at Tegan in the dark. Close your eyes. You're thinking. What are you thinking about? Who cares? Like, yeah, just walk across the stage. Yeah, they can't really see your legs, but that's cool. The suit's pretty fitted. Looks pretty good on camera. Anyways, just walk over here and just.
You walked in that song?
Well, just a little bit. I guess it was a long-winded way of saying that. I know sometimes we come off like we're being cool, but mostly I just am like that kid that was wearing really bad clothes with super long hair that liked to play that role-play game Raft. And so, anyways, I just sometimes feel cool for like a second. So thanks for letting me feel that way. I really think that's cool.
No. It's gonna work out really great because this works out perfectly because
Tie it in. I want to see you do it.
watch. Watch how I do it. Ready? Tomorrow we're gonna be on Fallon. Our first time being on the Jimmy Fallon show. Sarah's gonna be wearing this suit, those shoes, and that hair. And she will be doing a lot of this.
There's a lot of like sullen profile.
And you can tune in and watch it while we play the first single off Love You to Death on television for the first time. It's gonna be cool. I promise. See, I tied it back in. It was great. That's it. That's the end of the bed.
I liked it. All right.
Just bringing you back. You're still on. It's all you.
Okay. This next song was written by someone really cool. Thank you. Coolest band in the world. Do you think Nick Jonas is somewhere right now on stage in like Kansas and someone's like, Nick, you're cool. Don't worry about it, man. You're doing great, buddy. And he's like, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I really need that. All right. Thank you for your support.
Maybe.
Thank you for your support. And it's true. Tomorrow night we're gonna play this song, which I wrote feeling very cool about myself, having a lot of fucking self-esteem. Laying down some boundaries. Sort of my Beyonce's put a ring on it, but instead it's just saying, let's just make this thing legit. All right, here we go.
This next one, I really like playing. It was a song that I wrote kind of near the end of writing "Love You to Death," and when I sent it to Sarah, I hope this doesn't embarrass Sarah, but she emailed me back and was like, "Oh my God, I love it! It's so great. I think that we should probably just try to give it to a bigger artist because I just think it's a really cool song, but I just don't know. Like, I think it could be bigger if it was someone else singing it." And I was like, called her and was like, "What kind of thing is that to say?" And she's like, "No, I just feel like if like Adam Lambert was singing it, it'd be like a hit, but with you singing it, it's just going to be a Tegan and Sara song." And I was like, well, I know she didn't mean it in a bad way. It was a compliment. I was like, it's mine. But my favorite part that you should really watch for is the bridge, because I think that it's in that section specifically. It's like the older you get, the more like a mom being annoying like you become. I know. Like you're like, okay guys, So during the bridge, let's all turn to Sarah and let's just look at her. Let's give her a little bit of extra attention. You know, let's just really focus on. I'm like, why? That's not what I was gonna say. You always give such nerdy introductions to things that I do.
It's my song. I won't do it in front of your songs anymore.
No, you do it about all my songs. I'm not being mean to you. You do it. You never say about your own songs. You're not like, guys, whew, I got one coming up here, and you should definitely zone in on what I'm doing. Like, she's always like, oh boy, guys, you should really see what Sarah's about to do with this next one.
This next song is called U-Turn, and I think you should focus on just on Tegan and Brendan.
So when we were growing up, my parents didn't drink in front of us. Like, we were one of those households where
They didn't like drink in their bedrooms. They just didn't drink.
maybe they, I don't know.
No, they were. Trust me, they were
no
not.
idea.
No.
But like I've met like my girlfriend's family is they're more refined, and she would say like, oh, you know, my parents would have like a glass of wine with dinner, and I was like, what? We just drank a 2 liter of Coke between the four of us. But anyways, but it was funny because we developed sort of an odd relationship to alcohol and drugs. Like, drugs were like a no, and alcohol was like definitely a no. And then all of a sudden we were adults, and it was like we were drinking in front of our parents, and they didn't really drink, and so it still felt like it was bad or something. Like, I always felt sort of embarrassed when I would get tipsy around my mom. And then one time Tegan called me. We were probably like 26 or 25.
So scared, I have no idea what she's about to say.
So she called me, and she was living with a friend of ours, and there was pot in the house. Tegan didn't really smoke pot, but her friend did.
No, I didn't not really smoke pot. I did not smoke pot.
Oh yeah, okay. So Tegan didn't smoke pot, but her roommate, who's a good friend of ours, smoked pot. And my mom was in town visiting, and Tegan called me, and she goes, oh my God, Mom got so stoned last night in front of me. And it was
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, and it's funny because it really was the first time, so we were like 26 years old, it was probably the first time that we had like, well, we as in, this is a twin thing, Tegan had done something with my mom that I shared the experience somewhat.
P.S. I didn't smoke pot.
No, but you were around Mom when she was high.
I don't recall it, I guess.
You were drunk, but it doesn't... The point is just that was the beginning of a new era in our family, where now my mom sometimes smokes pot, or she'll drink Prosecco around us. She came on tour with us. In Europe on the last album cycle, and she would just like, we'd get off stage and she would have already drank all of our Prosecco, and we'd be like, Mom, fuck, stand down. Just
Not me. I was like, bring it on.
Anyways, I guess the point is only that, geez, things have changed. So now I really, when I smell weed, even though I don't smoke weed, I sort of take a adolescent thrill out of your exhale. Like when I smelt weed, I just wanted to turn around and be like, we're just living! We're fucking living! Guys, I'm sober.
Guys, Sarah's stoned. She never even raises her voice above a whisper. This is huge. All right, this next song, no, it's good.
I can also tell who's stoned because they're not laughing. Like, they're like...
And I would write sad songs all day long. And then I would email them to Sarah. And she had a life and friends and a girlfriend. That's true. I had none of those things. Yeah. She was like, I would call and be like, what you guys been up to? And she'd be like, oh, we went snowshoeing and drank whiskey, and we went to see like the gossip play at this cool place, and then whatever.
These are all things that have happened to come up in conversation in like the last 24 hours.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Tegan's like, they would snowshoe, drink scotch, and Mary specifically mentioned that story earlier.
Yeah, but that's the point, is that you were doing all this cool stuff, and then they'd be like, what have you been doing? And I'd be like, literally just sitting here writing sad songs.
Okay, and now let me just give you some narrative context. My then girlfriend and I came to visit Tegan in the city of sadness, where she was just writing sad songs. And she had got like 65 tattoos in like a 2-week period. And she had She had changed her phone from a Razor, which at the time we were using and was popular amongst people our age, and she had changed over to a BlackBerry Pearl, and she would just predictive text her way through every part of the city without looking. And I actually witnessed her. She didn't seem that sad, just FYI.
No, that's the best part of my sadness is that at my lowest, I'm at my best.
No, she was so sad that we came to visit her, except that she had nicknamed herself Tequila Tea, and was always out dancing and doing fun things. And I even witnessed her one time, was so distracted and just like was so involved in her predictive text that she walked into a pole, barely missed a beat. She just was like, like, you know, this is a side note, and I swear to God, I'll stop talking, but you know when you read on the news, like, person playing Pokemon walks off cliff, and you think, how the fuck can that happen?
For the record, I don't play Pokemon.
Sorry for the swear words. Every time I do something bad, I see either an adult that made me or a child that will have to get explained what everything that, like all the words I used later. So I apologize to everyone.
You know when you bring your kid to a Tegan Sara concert, they're gonna swear, right? Well, you don't have kids, so what are you screaming about? You're a kid. Are you a kid? You look like a kid. Sorry if you're not. You're a kid, right? It's fine. Are your parents upset? Are you here with parents? I still can't tell. Are you a kid? You're a kid. Parents okay.
Which one's a kid?
That kid, right there. That's a kid.
That's not a girl, Tegan, that's an adult.
No, I'm not pointing at those people. I'm pointing at...
That's cool. This really odd thing happened, actually. Yesterday, Tegan had this weird thing happen to her hand, and we're in the, press part of the album cycle, so we've been doing a lot of press and promo, and we get asked a lot of twin questions, which is fine, and we have learned to, answer with hopefully interesting responses.
Like, do you still live together? Do you have bunk beds? Have you ever tried to date the same girl? Do you feel each other's pain? Those are real questions.
Okay, which is fine. We met a bunch of twins in Toronto recently. Yeah, they were great. Big a lot of excitement for Toronto twins specifically. But anyways, one of the things that everyone agreed, all of us twins, is that mostly a lot of the stuff that people say about twins is pretty much bullshit, and if I had any of this like telepathy or mind reading powers, I already would have taken advantage of it and made a lot more money. And but so exactly casinos, yeah. Casinos, whatever. I sort of think of that. I think a lot about that movie with the.
It's so fun. They just are gonna listen to you.
I always think of that movie Indecent Proposal, like with Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore. I think about that movie all the time because I'm like, what would I do for $1 million? Like, I always think about it. Like, I for sure, if I was single, I would for sure have sex with an older businessman for $1 million. Like, no strings attached, no questions. Like,
now in your life, you would do
like if I was single,
why? You better donate that money to charity.
No, why? I had to have sex with an old businessman for $1 million. I would give it to anyone.
Why are you having sex with money?
I'm just saying, I think about Indecent Proposal all the time and all the things I would do for $1 million. One of them is actually just
okay, well, if anyone's keeping track for $1 million, I would start a cat rescue, and I would just...
That's her answer, but anyways, back to my answer.
You and your older man boyfriend can come over and they think you can adopt one.
Okay, he's not my boyfriend. He's just the one that had sex with once, and then he gave me $1 million. So.
Do you want to borrow money, or you want to for cash?
No, why not top it up, is all I'm saying. But anyway, I'm not going to have sex with a man for $1 million that I know of right now. Because I'm in a relationship, and I want to stay in the relationship. But one thing I think about...
Very popular this year.
Anyways, that's not even the point. That was a weird tangent. I guess what I was going to say back to the twin thing was that one of the things that people ask ask us about is if we feel each other's pain, or if like her arm's broken, does my arm just break? Okay, I know this is all ridiculous until this very strange thing that happened last night, which is that Tegan over dinner, she got this like weird like thing in her finger, and she was like, my finger, and it was starting to turn all purple and blue, and we were like, move it around and put it above your heart, and you know, it was really weird, and I was like, oh, she's fine.
So compassionate.
It's like a blown, she's got like a blown blood vessel, who knows, whatever. So I get back to the hotel last night, and I was a little drunk, so it's a little blurry, but I don't remember hurting myself or like getting into an injury, but this is so fucked up. My exact same finger, it's like you can't really see because of the lights right now, but I mean, trust me, it's like black and blue. Like I woke up this morning, and my whole finger is like black and blue, the same finger that Tegan, her finger. Twins! And I was like, this is demented.
I fucking hope that we can't feel each other's pain, because when you have sex with that older businessman, sex with Sarah?
I'm just saying that it's just one of those ridiculous things where, like, if someone literally could give you $1 million, like, there's a lot of stuff most of us would do. Like,
it's crazy how out of control things got so fast up here.
Well, you said talk, and that was what was on my mind.
Wait, I said 2 things. I gotta complete the thought. You can tell everyone I'm not forgetful later, but if you remember. But the second thing that I do is I'll see a picture. Sometimes it's something I've taken, and I'll see a picture on the internet, and I will immediately go into my iPhoto and look at photos from 5 years ago and compare to see like how I'm deteriorating. Oh my God. Is this about last night? No, it's not about last night. It's just about like how we're living. And this is the thing, is that most of the time the only real difference is that my eyebrows are grown out. So like I look less 90s now. Oh, well, so last night Sarah sent me a photo and was like, oh my God, have you seen this photo of us? Which maybe because I'd had a drink, I was like, I think we look fine. It's a little dark looking, like it's a little shaded, like they didn't use light, you know? So, and Sarah just kept sending like more zoomed in versions. And she was just like, I mean, it's terrible. And now today she has a conspiracy theory that people choose the worst photo to put up for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I just wish there was more empathy when people were choosing photographs to post with certain articles or to like or to repost. Like,
this is how it is though. One time I asked a bunch of friends to send me photos for a collage that I was doing. People choose the weirdest photos of themselves. Like, they look like a normal person. Okay, it's me. And then you're like, send me a picture of yourself, and so I send you this. You know, like, we all have selfie face now. And the point of that was I was going to say that I do these 2 things. And it's interesting when I have to play old songs. It's kind of like doing that. It's kind of like looking back in an old photo. Or it's like, you know, when I forget something, I'm like, wow, like I wrote this next song in 2006. Which isn't really that long ago, but... Thank you. Cool, thanks guys. That's like making me feel really good about myself. That's so long! I was born then!
But I just want to, can I just say 2 things?
Are you having a good time, sir?
Number 1, I just want to say that Tegan didn't think the photo was that bad, but I was out for dinner with people who know me and love me, and they started laughing so hard that people were wiping tears with a Kleenex. Like, they were just like, they were dabbing at tears. Like, they were like, you look so bad! Like, they were just like hysterically laughing, and I was like, people are like, I can't believe that you have bad self-esteem. Just tell me more about how you hate yourself. And I'm like, okay, here's a great example. All my loved ones at a table in hysterics at how bad I look. What'd you say? You said you think I look handsome? I'm gonna go with that. I think I like it. I was gonna also say that before we play these next 2 songs, because we're gonna play them now. But we are coming.
Are we?
A lot of really cool, interesting, very diverse people. There's a lot of smiles. So Vancouver, people.
who knows? Maybe you're thinking about work or school or something else. So I said, let's slip in some new songs and person on this.
I love you.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it was involuntary. Okay, just stand back for this one.
I always like to find someone, like, this is crazy. And by the way, I would totally say this to my girlfriend. We have a very but for monogamy, I can say that we're gonna sing, which I've never said before, but now she'll know because I'm gonna say it to you. But I would say to her.
Why don't you say it again?
Swayze and Dirty Dancing in the world of music. Say sometimes I just look into the eyes of someone that would be my like girlfriend. It's like I could not find my father this entire universe. I just saw my dad. I'm like, yeah, so that's cool. That's right. But anyway, it's not really a romantic thing. It's just more like, what would it like? Kind of, I think it's probably in there from the it's just cobbled together imagery from the 80s and early 90s. And so my idea of playing a concert is pretty much just the Bruce Springsteen video for Dancing in the Dark. It took like 17 years for me to finally be able to ask Courtney Cox up onto the stage to dance. And it just turned out the other night it was just this guy named Aaron who identified as straight. It just wasn't my Courtney Cox, or it wasn't the Courtney Cox that I heard.
Song, even though it's a big pop jam. Like an air supply, like early Air Supply on our last record. It's still a fucking heartbreaker when it's just on the acoustic guitar, especially with early Elvis here, like, you know. Early Elvis was so hot. The real one, not you. I mean, you're fine. You're totally fine. You're like me. I think we look great. I love Red Bull. It makes me so fun. Who needs drugs and alcohol? Me, when Tegan's been drinking Red Bull.
The other tours that we've done on this record have been international, and sometimes when you get on those airplanes, they give you free alcohol. And Tegan and I were on this flight together, and we were sitting next to each other, and I had a couple drinks, and I was watching a movie, and then I took out of my bag this little packet of wipes that I got in South Korea. Just face wipes, you know, just thought, oh, just clean it up a little bit. We call it a horse bath. But anyways, we just, you know, you just sort of like, you're in the saloon days, you know, you're just cleaning up for your, you know, whatever, like just to look good or whatever. I'm like wiping down my face, and I'm gonna put the little partition up and say goodnight to Tegan, and I look over at her and she goes, oh my God, what happened to your face? And I was like, what do you mean? I just wiped off all
I didn't say that. What I said was, how do you feel right now?
Oh yeah, she goes, how are you feeling? And I said, fine, I'm just gonna lay down now. I'm just gonna go to sleep. And she goes, what happened to your face? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's very red. You have your whole face is very streaky and red, and there's a hive. And I'm allergic to fresh mint.
Just wanted to let you know, as opposed to shitty, rotten mint. That's fine. She can rub that shit all over her face, but just not fresh mint. If it's in your Tom's toothpaste, it's fine. But if it's in your mojito, no, thank you. Anyways, I went to the bathroom and I looked at the wipes that I had in my bag, and they were just, it was covered in like, it was just, I didn't really look at it. It was, you know, we got them in South Korea. It's like there's just characters. There's a stuffed animal.
Characters holding mint.
He's holding mint. He's holding fresh mint. I know you think I'm joking, but it truly was fresh mint wipes for your face. And my face was so fucked up for the entire flight. So, you know, I do have some self-consciousness around having allergic reactions, so I did use your Sea Breeze spray on my face, and I'm fairly certain I'm not having a bad reaction. Just so you know, I didn't want to say this earlier, like 2 songs ago when you brought it up, and then the 2 before it, but that's a product for your hair, not for your face. I know, but it's not, I didn't use it on my face, I just sprayed it wildly around my face, like to go in my hair. Cool. I'm so sorry about having to process this in front of you. It's like I took drugs, but I'm sober and I'm so sorry. Anyways, that's just a little glimpse into what it's like to be Tegan and Sara. Just, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's like cat eyes. Why? It's fine. They're staying. They can't go anywhere. Please don't light this side of the stage for the rest of the show. Just put me in darkness, for God's sake.
This morning we flew from Los Angeles and I started WhatsApping Sara because I was standing in line for coffee. And it was early and there was a girl talking really, really, really loud. It's this tiny, tiny little cafe. But they have a table, and it's at this very small table that you can have alcohol, but you can't go anywhere else in the airport, just this tiny little table. And we fly to this airport, like this terminal a lot, so I've seen this. Doesn't matter what time of day it is, there's always people like Sara having wine at like 8 in the morning. I just see if you were listening. I have standards. Okay, so anyway, I'm standing in line getting my coffee, and there's a girl there, and she's FaceTiming with someone, and I'm trying not to pay attention to who she's FaceTiming or what she's doing. She's speaking very loud, so I feel she's invited me into the conversation. She's got headphones on, so she's like sitting there, and I noticed 3 things immediately. 1, she's talking very loud. 2, she has 2 drinks, and 3, she has a dog sitting on the stool next to her. And so there's only 4 seats, and so she's at one, and then she's got her dog sitting at another, which I think is fucking bold, you know? Very bold. What's wrong? She here? No, just... Hey, what's up, vodka and Corona at 10 a.m.?
No, there's a beautiful drawing of my children.
Oh, your cats, yes. Oh, yeah.
No, it's yours.
She always has to make it about cats. Don't give it to Sara. Don't. Okay. One thing. This is so beautiful. I'm going to display it because I'm really missing my cats tonight. So I can keep it so you can look at it while you sing. Oh, cute. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, get some tape. Okay, I'll finish telling the story while Sara sets up her emotional support art. Okay, so anyway, basically it's not really that interesting a story now, but it's all tied into the San Francisco rent thing. But this girl was having a very loud FaceTime where she was inviting someone to be her roommate, and she was like, yeah, I couldn't live with anyone, but I could totally imagine living with you. It's going to be $1,200 a month. I might have to move out in a couple months, in which case you'll have to pay all $3,000. 2 drinks, emotional support animal next to her. I was like, oh my God. I thought to myself, I want to follow this girl for the next 3 months and see how it all works out. So anyway, I totally did that thing where I pretended I was like looking at something at a weird angle, and I shot a picture of her from multiple angles. And then sent it to my family. I was like, look at this, isn't this amazing? We're Canadian, and it's funny because like, I don't think the emotional support animal has really caught on in Canada yet. We think it's amazing. We think it's bullshit, mostly. But no, it's not. I desperately want one. Look, some people... You don't think that my cats are emotionally supporting me? Okay, but I'm not going to put a red dress on them and bring them to the airport. That's madness. It's selfish. Okay, but some people really do need them, okay? Don't get mad at me on social media after this. Some people literally need their emotional support animal. Guess who's going to be issuing an apology tomorrow online? I mean,
Clearly, if you're having 2 drinks at like 10 a.m. and FaceTiming loudly at the cafe. Incredible anxiety about flying. This next one's from my new friend from the airport. It's a new song. It's for her. It's a weird one to dedicate to her, but her dog looked like it needed a support animal for it. Like the dog itself was just like the most like, you know how sometimes like dogs look happy? Like this dog looked so sad. Like it just had resting sad face, you know? Resting sad face. I don't know, maybe the dog seemed fine. The weight of the world was on this dog. Like the dog, like I wish that I could hear the interior thoughts of the dog. Like the dog was like, oh, she's always wasted by lunchtime. Like, it's like every bite, it's like vodka cran in a bottle. Oh God, start the song or we're never gonna shut up.
I still kind of just don't really like playing guitar that much, sorry. It's always kind of attitude, but it annoys me. The other day I was like, I learned all our songs on guitar, and Sarah was like, bleh. She's like, I learned them all on piano. That was our first instrument, so Sarah's going right back to her roots. She's like 7 years old going to piano class again. Guitar's cooler than the piano though. The piano's all nerdy and bulky. I don't know, the guitar's like a penis, you know? It's just, I just think the piano's beautiful. It's like a spectrum, you know? It's like a cycle. It's beautiful. The guitar's just like, you know? It's just a huge, you have a wood dick on you and it's just, but whatever, if you feel cool about it, like, cool. It's not a dick, it's a third arm. I have 3 arms. Arms are like dicks. Some people isn't it? I don't know. You can't pick something off with a dick. Well, yeah, you can. Lots of things off with a dick. I'm not saying a dick is bad, I'm just saying I don't want to use the dick, that's all. I mean, not in this way. I like dicks, I just don't want to wear them. On stage. I was trying to be sweet. I'm just saying, it's not a conspiracy, but I think there's a subconscious, institutionalized idea that guitars are better, but I think it's because they look like dicks. People are like, guitar is so important! And I'm like, why? Because it just fucks the whole world with itself? Like, I don't know. What's so great about a guitar? And good night.